Welcome to Off the Hanger, the fashion podcast where we delve deep into our guests' wardrobes, finding out their favourite fashion pieces and the stories behind them. This week's guest is Alex Wood. She's the founder of Alexandra Wood Bespoke and also Couture, which basically covers everything style that a busy professional could want. But before we get into this episode, if you could like and subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, maybe give this a follow, it would be much appreciated. I hope you enjoy this episode. Alex, thank you so much for joining me on Off the Hanger. It's lovely to talk to you this afternoon. I'm really excited to hear more about your business because you provide a service which I think so many people need. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So we've got Couture, which looks after busy professional women, and it basically incorporates everything. So if you think about an image consultant, a personal stylist, a colorist, a tailor, a personal shopper, and a designer, and cohesively bring everything together. We basically provide that service for our female clients. The ladies who have zero time and just want it all taken care of for them. Like a style fairy godmother in that world.
That sounds incredible. And I think it's such a broad coverage of what you do. It is really like just a one-stop shop for everything style, isn't it?
Yeah. So we basically take all of that information. So the three core things are, our client's skin tone and then body shape and style personality, so that we can start to design and curate a personal collection that we then actually personally make tailor-made, so it fits the client as well. So it's a really holistic view of style. So it takes the client from start to finish, literally steam hung and put straight into their wardrobe. So very enticing for someone who has no time and doesn't particularly like shopping, or they might like shopping, but it never quite works out. So, yeah.
And have you always worked in fashion?
Yeah. So I started my career in women's wear. The whole story was that my father and I used to shop together. We still do, although he took my 16-year-old daughter the other day. I was like, I'd be replaced. So we used to do shopping trips together, and I loved the simplicity of menswear. But, I did start in women's wear, so I've done both sides. And I have a brand, Alexandra Wood, that I've built for 16 years that does exactly the same thing for men. It's just a lot more simplified. So, yeah, I have definitely always been in fashion and obsessed with it.
And did that come from childhood? Were you keen on fashion as a child?
Yeah, so I'd dress up and then go to school and go, oh, what do you think? And my dad would say, it's not a fashion show, I was like, are you for real? So, I always had a view. I think fashion is just magical. So you can like transform people's images, and just people have a very different perception of you based on how you look. But more importantly, is how we feel ourselves. And I think it's very underrated. How style, sometimes people think of it as frivolous and a little bit indulgent, but actually it's crucial to making us feel, our best selves, to sound cheesy. But yeah, I used to go through books of the royal family, which is quite humorous because my parents say, we're not royalists. And I was like, why are all these books hanging around? And so I'd be like looking at over the top tailoring and just sort of lap it up, really. Yeah.
And I loved it reminds me, I loved with the late Queen. I've been watching The Crown recently, but I loved that she always wore the most bright, vibrant colours. And it wasn't necessarily that was who she was, but she knew she had to do that to stand out in the crowd. The quote or something is about, how will anybody see me if I'm wearing a dark colour? So she always just used to wear the most bright, vibrant things.
Yeah. And actually, I loved Camilla's wedding outfit. I thought it was stunning. And that's quite muted. So she was probably doing the opposite. So, plays such an important role. And it's fun.
And do you have an earliest fashion memory?
Yes. So I was thinking about this. It's an embarrassing one. And I told my younger daughter the other day. So we were walking past the Waldorf. And my grandmother was very, she loved fashion, actually. So that she was quite inspiring. She'd wear, it was quite simple. She was quite small, which is the complete opposite to me. And she'd wear sort of, pleated skirts and tiny little neat shirts and stilettos. And she loved going to fancy places. So she took us to the Waldorf for her birthday. And she said, wear this, which was a hideous fur coat. I don't have it in my wardrobe anymore. But it was like real fur as well. Sorry, horrifying. It was a long time ago. And basically we went out to the Waldorf for her birthday. She made me go up to the bandstand and say, sing happy birthday for me. They asked me what my name was and ended up singing me happy birthday. It was so embarrassing. And I was about 10. And she went, sing happy birthday to you. Go up to them again and ask them to sing it to me. It's like, so yeah, bad fur coat and complete humiliation.
Not a great combination all year round, but it didn't put you off fashion at least. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the oldest thing in your wardrobe?
So I don't have those to hand because I'll probably have to rummage deep into my wardrobe. But I love boots, particularly knee-high boots, and I've loved them since I was 18. And I do think they've always been quite relevant and look quite cool with a lot of items, whether you wear them over jeans or skirts. So I bought a pair from a shoe company called Shelley's. I don't know if anyone knows who they are.
Shelley's, yeah. Is Shelley's still going?
No, but I really wish they were because I find shoes so dull now. I find that a real struggle, actually. So if there's any shoe brands out there that are a bit quirky. Yeah, so I love Office, and they've kind of gone a bit mainstreamy too, I find. But yeah, Shelley's had an amazing collection of knee-high boots. I've probably got like 2 or 3 pairs of those that I just sort of still re-heel and do quite well with. It's amazing.
Well, that's good. It's good that they're still going strong. And I think that's the good thing with shoes and boots. If you look after them and you do maintain them and get them re-heeled and resold, then a lifetime.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what would you say is the piece in your wardrobe that gets the most compliments?
So it's not the most expensive piece in my wardrobe, but I love it. Although I have to say, the last time I wore it was to a client's 50th birthday party at the BAFTAs, not the BAFTAs, but at the BAFTA venue. And I suddenly realised I was standing with a light right behind me, and I basically looked naked because you can't really get underwear with it. I thought, well, I'm just going to have to rock with it now. But I've been seen to wear it on LinkedIn, on social media, Instagram, and it gets the attention. It's very body skimming. So this is my dress. So yeah, it's kind of a midi with a little split, but it leaves nothing to the imagination. It does have black lining, but yeah, it's really cool. I wore it for Christmas years ago, and I thought, I wonder if I still fit in it. And yeah, I feel like a golden globe in it.
It's fabulous. It's the way that it catches the light. I think that's what it is. I think sometimes when you wear something gold, they can be quite muted and matte, but to have something that's got that real shine and reflection to it, it's stunning.
Yeah, I do love it. I've got a bit of a problem when it comes to gold, I have to say. But I think it's lovely, like when you really understand what colours suit you, it's a massive difference between looking a bit tired and a bit drab, between like, here I am, and people go, oh, God, you look amazing. And that's always quite nice. No one can deny they, don't like that.
Exactly. It's nice to get a little compliment every now and again. Now, you mentioned that wasn't the most expensive piece that you own. What is the most expensive piece that you own?
Oh, go on. I can run upstairs, but it's my Christian Dior tan leather handbag.
Nice. Sounds beautiful. What, do you know which model it is?
I don't, because I tend to just be like, oh, I like that, get that, and not really pay any attention to that, which I probably should, but yeah, it's lovely. Everyone says, oh, I love that bag, so nice. It's just one of their very classic, nice little dinky ones, quite nice and solid with the gold Dior on it. So yeah, it's one of my indulgences. I think with handbags, they end up kind of like investment pieces, don't they?
And do you use it often, or are you the type of person that likes to save it for best?
Well, because it is quite solid, it's not that I need to save it for best, but because it's got like a very rigid bottom, and structure. It's not the most comfortable. So I think it looks quite cool with jeans, a little cape and things like that. So I'd wear it sort of a nice day out or evening out, knowing that I can kind of put it down somewhere safely.
Now, what's the newest piece you've got in your wardrobe?
The newest is actually a pair of jeans that I made. They're
Cool.
So they're, I'll show you that colour. Put them together. So they're a very pale denim, super duper lightweight. And I was trying to make kind of a cool, sleek boot cut jean that doesn't look like your typical jean. I'm quite obsessed with that sort of thing. So it's got quite a strong pleat through that. I will try and send you a picture. So.
It's okay, yeah.
Hold it up.
Hold it up.
They're like super duper lightweight. So yeah, nice ones for the summer and just look amazing with linen sports jackets and things like that. So they're the most recent things I've made. And then probably the other recent purchase was another gold dress, which also and everyone's like, oh my god, is it her Lego? It's Coast from Vinted.
Coast, I have to say, Coast have really upped their game in the past few seasons. The amount of time I get like Facebook ads pop up and I'm like, oh my god, that's incredible, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's Coast. That's like, what's happened?
So it used to be a little bit frilly, a little bit floral, a bit floaty, but now, you know, that it's pretty flattering for body shapes anyway. I know it's like very tight, but it's quite forgiving, so that's good. Yeah.
Sometimes I think when you get those shapes though, like the Hervé Leger ones, they really do kind of just hold you in and give you that really great shape, even if that's not naturally your body shape. I do think they're kind of, there's some sort of witchcraft sewn into them.
I do have a herb. Oh, you've said it better than me, but a really lovely yellow one. And you're right, it's very tough material, but like gorgeous as well.
They're just not great for dinner. That's what I always found. They're not a dinner dress. I need something with a bit more stretch or a bit floatier if I'm going to be going for dinner. I need a bit more room for that dessert. There's no point me being in something tight.
And steak and chips. Everyone's like, oh, you don't like desserts? I was like, just give me, steak and chips every time.
Exactly. We spend a lot of time at Hawksmoor. That's my husband's favourite. So we spend a lot of time just eating steak and chips. It's great. Now, are you quite sentimental when it comes to the pieces in your wardrobe? Would you say you've most sentimental piece?
So my sentimental piece, it will be the only sentimental piece because my husband, I was talking about this yesterday and he went, you're not really sentimental to those sort of things. And I said, I'm sentimental to you and my family. And so this is my sentimental piece, is my wedding dress.
Oh, beautiful. I love that you still have it. When did you get married?
6 years ago. It really needed to be put in a box and dry cleaned, but I haven't done it yet. But it actually looks pretty decent. So I'll share a photo of that as well. But, it's lovely. And my girls quite like looking at it every now and again. Cute. It's very heavy.
And did it take you a long time to find the right wedding dress? Because it can be, I think you're either an instant, you know exactly what you want, you put that on, that's the one, done, or you're the complete opposite. You're like 600 wedding dresses deep later and you've still not quite found the perfect thing.
Yeah, so I'm definitely the former. So I'm a quick decision maker. I know what I like and what I don't like. When I used to go out shopping with friends and they'd be like, oh, I'll come back to it. And then I'll be like, no, you either you like it or you don't. We do not come back. I'm knackered. So it's like, yeah, I think this was the second one I tried on. I kind of think probably with what I do, I kind of know what shapes suit me and what don't. I did the first one I tried on was the one with lace sleeves, the whole Catherine Middleton look, and it just did not look good on me at all. So tried this one and I was like, yeah, perfect. Can't breathe, but it's all good.
Now, what would you say is the piece in your wardrobe that most sums you?
Well, yes, and I couldn't find it, darn it. But basically, I made a shirt for myself, which was made out of a really wacky lining because and someone said, Alex, if something summed you up, it's definitely that shirt. So I think I'm quite introverted, but it seems not. So it's a bright blue with like skeletons on it and lots of funky, funny things. It's just quite quirky. So yeah, people say I can be quite quiet, but I say random quirky things when I feel comfortable.
That's it. I think, I'm quite introverted too. And I think a lot of people wouldn't see that in me. They would instantly go, oh, but with your job and what you do, you must be a real extrovert. And I'm like, yeah, but my job's different.
Yeah.
That's a different situation. This isn't like sending me into a room of people that I don't know and expecting I could just start a conversation with somebody. It could stand there being awkward until somebody came over to me. And even then, I'd probably still be awkward and say ridiculous things. But I think I've said it on the podcast before about how a lot of introverts are really into fashion because we use our clothes as talking points and as armor. It's that thing that draws somebody else over to you to speak to you. And it'll be the same with your shirt. Somebody will always come over every time you wear that and start up a conversation about that incredible shirt.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's like, not actually cool. It's quite hot because it's the lining. But yeah, no, exactly. I relate to what you just said when you say random things. People go, where did that come from? I'm like, I don't know.
Sometimes just what's in my head falls out my mouth, and it's always the greatest thing. But this is just what happens. Get used to it. It'll be fine. Now, it's quite well documented that I am a bit of a fashion disaster and that the fashion faux pas, well, in fact, not so much the fashion faux pas, but the wardrobe malfunctions, just begun to embrace them. I just accept that these things are going to happen to me. And would you like to join my club? Do you have a little story you could share?
Of course, what lady does not? One happened in secondary school, one happened with a client. So I was with a male client of mine, and suddenly I just feel and hear this right down the back of my dress. Still trying to hold a conversation and trying to walk backwards. Like, very awkward. And I think, why is she walking backwards? Out the whole building. Please turn away. Please turn away. So yeah, it seems to be seam ripping, but nothing on things I've made, thankfully, just from other brands.
It wouldn't be a good professional calling card if it was something that you'd made.
Although I am a big believer in stretch and a bit of bounce, jersey fabrics are the saving grace of the world.
They are, because I think sometimes these things do happen, and I think a lot of times brands make something without considering the practicalities of real life. Like if you've got a certain dress or shirt on and it's got no stretch in it and you have like small children, how on earth are you going to bend down and pick them up without just popping a seam? I think a bit stretch goes a very long way.
Yeah, and I definitely think, style and fashion's moving towards that. So upon sort of creating the women's sub-brand, looking into, what do women really want now, and particularly in professional field, and it is more practicality. So you want to look great, but you also want to be able to move. And pockets, women want pockets as much as men. So
they do. And I love, there's kind of two little facts about pockets. So there's two reasons that pockets, that we for a long time didn't have them. So back in the very, very olden days, pockets were originally taken away from women because they thought we were witches and that we'd put our spells in them, which I am totally here for. I'd quite happily just wander about with, a spell in my pocket, just in case some man's rude to me here, just throw that at him. And then later on, it was because women apparently didn't need anything because their men were supposed to provide. So we didn't have to carry money or keys or anything like that because our menfolk was supposed to do all of that for us. And I'm like, no, I need the pockets. I am far too independent. I need to do everything myself. Yes. Give me my pockets.
Go girl. I don't think my husband carry anything. He asked me to carry things. And I remember once he said to me, oh, would you be able to put this in your mum bag? I went, you call it mum bag again. I will never carry anything for you. Okay. I am a mum, but the thought of being mumsy and being like, oh, I've got a nice safe bag with everything in it, just in case, is a bit of a no-no. And he went, okay, noted.
Yeah. I'm always the carrier of everybody's things.
Yeah.
Like, my husband has, like, his keys and his phone, and he's always got glasses and a glasses case, and there's always stuff. And I'm like, right, what's the tiniest bag I can take out with me so that I don't have to carry everybody else's things? Just a little micro bag that will only fit my possessions in. Now, you mentioned your love of your Shelley boots earlier. Do you have a favourite pair of shoes, and are they a pair of knee-high boots?
My favourite pair of shoes are, well, I've got two. One are like super duper practical and I don't think particularly attractive, are Allbirds boots.
Yep.
I've walked all the way around New York in them and they're amazing. But I really, if they're listening.
Allbirds, send them this way. We love your boots.
Yes. But, you know, like made a more elegant, fashion-y version. So good. My favourite impractical shoes, but look very cool, are my red Valentinos, patent Valentinos with the studs round flat, because I'm 6 foot. So I don't tend to wear heels, but they're really cool. It's a nice flat shoe with a bit of personality.
So are they the rock studs?
Yeah.
Is it the rock studs? Oh, they are super cool. That's one that I haven't got in my collection, a pair of rock studs. And I do think that they're now such classic. I think I really need to put it on maybe one of my little vintage watch lists just to see if the perfect pair comes up.
Quite a few on there. I mean, they're still fairly expensive, to be fair, but yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, they're really cool. And like you say, it's just that bit of personality. There's something that, because they're flat, you can be wearing them with just jeans and a blazer, but they're really going to add that bit of oomph to that outfit.
And then you can pop a bit of red lipstick and match shoes and keep everything else quite tame. It's cool.
Yeah, sounds like a great look. Now, is there a fashion item that you're lusting after, something that you don't yet own but would love to, regardless of cost or practicality?
Yeah, so probably be no surprise that they're knee-high boots. I saw them on Olivia Palermo. They're patent, you know, real pretty woman numbers, but not quite so wide through the leg. They're quite slim. I can't remember where they're from. They're saved in my favourites folder. So, because I'm like, I love them, and I did buy. Actually, my favourite boots are Stuart Weissman's thigh-high boots in suede. They are stunning and they're mega comfortable. They've really like nailed the two things together. So these are kind of like that with a Christian Dior kind of crooked heel and made in patent. So yeah, they're on the list, but completely impractical. I do not need them. I just want them.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of having the dream fashion item. It's not supposed to be something practical.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be something just frivolous that you just want. There are lots of practical things. I need to have a practical kind of super warm, waterproof coat for walking the dog. But is that the thing that I'm lusting after? No, really not. Now, do you have a piece of fashion advice for your younger self?
Yes. Oh, I wrote it down. Bear with me one moment. So my advice is to find out what suits you as soon as you can. Obviously, like age is a consideration. Our style tends to change as we age, although sometimes it kind of doesn't. We tend to know what colours suit us off the bat and get more probably experimental with colour and things like that as we go through our years. But I'd say when it comes a stage where you're not in your 20s or, you know, and have more of an understanding of who you want to be and how you want to represent yourself, it's like then get some good advice and nail it from the start, because, you know, 80% of our wardrobes are left unworn. That means 20% is worn because things don't fit, don't suit. A silly investment. You think you'll lose weight, you think you gain weight. So it's really kind of, that's why essentially what I do is kind of making sure people do get it right from the start, because it is waste of time, it's waste of money, and it's really bad on the planet if you don't kind of get it right. And it just feels good when you know what your formula is. It makes shopping easier because you go into a shop rather than go, you're going directly to the things you know work for you. So I'd say, yeah, understanding your style sooner rather than.
I think that also leads to less blaming yourself. I think often people blame themselves when something doesn't fit or something doesn't look right. And actually it's because you're not looking at the right thing. Yeah. Whereas I think if you know in advance what your things are and the things that you're supposed to be wearing and the things that are going to look great on you, I think it rules that out. It's such good advice.
Thanks. Yeah, and you can just feel more confident in it, and that ultimately is what makes it more enjoyable. I know people that love fashion but still buy random pieces. Like, why would you buy that? Like a friend of mine, she said sometimes she wakes up and goes on like ASOS, and she said, I'm buying dresses like I'm going to the BAFTA Awards every week. She goes, what am I thinking? I was like, stop it. Buy practical things. So it's also like looking at your lifestyle and really being honest with yourself. Like, where do I spend most of my time? What do I actually need? What do I wear the most of every day? And kind of like rinse and repeating that. You'll have your one-off, nice pieces. But as ladies, if we're going to Ascot, etc., whereas a man probably wear it again and again with a different tie. Women, want a different dress every time and not wear what someone else is wearing. So we're different, aren't we?
I hard relate to your friend. If the Oscars ever need me to attend, I've got a wardrobe full of things I could probably wear. My go-to. I could be there in 5 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm coming, baby.
Thank you so much for being on Off the Hanger. It's been so lovely chatting with you.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please remember to check out some more of the Off the Hanger episodes.